Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Firehouse Podcast. So to start things off, there has been a little bit of growth that I've seen. Well, not really growth, pretty much like the opposite of growth, basing off the 3 episodes that I do have uploaded. The first one had around 20 views, the second one's around 14, and then the most recent one, from last week only has 8. So, I guess I just gotta try harder with uh, getting this out there, and telling people about it, uh, because I feel like I really do think that this could go somewhere. Sorry. Um, but I really do think that this could go somewhere with it. Like I can bring it somewhere and do something with it other than just keep it local, you know. Um, so let's see. Um, so to start, uh, one of these news stories, from the Daily Dispatch. Kansas is top 5 in the nation for arson fires. Um, Last year there were 5,440 arson incidents reported. Um, Kansas made up 6% of the nation's arson reports with 307 cases. Kansas had the fifth most cases of fires in the U.S. according to the United States Fire Administration. There were 293,396 fire reports in Kansas in 2023, and Kansas Bureau of Investigation keeps track of the number of arson cases. The Bureau reports a downtrend in cases since 2020. Arson cases have steadily decreased in number from a peak of 547, the highest number of cases in the last decade, which happened in 2015, when there were 653 cases. Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on in Kansas? Why is everybody um becoming arsonists? Jeez. I don't even know how I will, like, I don't even know. That's Jesus. Um let's see what else there is. Whoa, why is nothing working? Okay, there we go. Ford F-150 driver rescued by Ohio Fire Department after getting stuck 10 feet in the air. What? There are many reasons why you might want to call the fire department. Your house might be on fire, petrol tanker just overturned. Or like this one Ford driver of a F-150. You might be stuck 10 feet in the air and in serious need of rescue. This came to our attention through a Facebook post from Station 41 of the Wolfhurst Fire Department in Bridgeport, Ohio. The agency readily admits it doesn't often post about incidents that it responds to, but this one was simply too noteworthy to ignore. It all went down on the evening of August 25th. The fire department was called to a vehicle accident where a Ford truck had somehow wound up stuck 10 feet in the air. The driver was inside, unharmed, but unable to get down. Um, Wow. So there's pictures. Let's see if the computer would like to load decently fast today so I could look at these. Is that it? No shot. That's all it is? Oh, for some reason in my mind, I was thinking like this thing hit something and like flew up and like got stuck on like a concrete barrier or I mean that's pretty much what I was thinking. This thing's just propped up on some like what the hell is it called? I don't know. I can't think of the word, but like it's propped up on a power pole. Like the not it's not like a wire, but like yeah, I guess it's considered a wire, like the metal wiring that secures the pole to the ground, like that come out the sides with the long yellow plastic pieces around one. It's sitting up on top of that. How does that even happen? That's wow. Okay. Huh. Well, that's kind of cool. But I did see in the pictures that they had like I can't I already X'd out of it. But they looked almost like kind of like hydraulic rams, but they definitely weren't hydraulic or rams. They were just like some stabilization poles um that you would use to like prop stuff open with or keep things in the air so they're stable. They used four of those, and they obviously had wheel chocks on the rear wheels, because the back wheels and stuff were still on the ground, and don't want that sliding out. Um, Geez, that I wonder how long they were there. Probably not too long, but like I would have loved because like that's something that you don't think about whenever you're going to a car accident. Like whenever you're, I mean, like unless dispatch gives you a really good short report, then obviously you'll know that. But like if on that off chance dispatch they don't get a whole lot of information from the caller that's not always mentioned in the short report. So whenever you get on scene and you see that, it's friggin' damn truck propped up in the air. A lot of things gotta change real fast. To like to resolve the issue. Um, so yeah, $1 million in damage reported after Florida firefighters put out a blaze at their own station. What is up with that recently? Over the last couple of weeks, we've covered two different departments that were flooded, and now we're talking about one in Florida that got burnt down. Pardon me, excuse me, sorry. Um, Firefighters had to battle an early morning fire at their own station on Wednesday. Officials say the flames destroyed three vehicles parked behind Station 47, but luckily no one was hurt. The station is next to a police department, and both buildings were surrounded by caution tape after the fire. Officers first noticed the flames close to 3 a.m. in a maintenance area between the buildings. Initially, they thought a large fuel tank was on fire. Firefighters started pouring water onto the flames and realized three vehicles were burning: an ambulance, a rehab unit, and a front loader used by Public Works. The fire department vehicles were both in reverse, meaning they were not being used on a regular basis. Oh, wow. I'm so incredibly stupid. But the fire department vehicles were both in reserve, not reverse. Whoops. Meaning they were not being used on a regular basis, although the fire department did have plans to refurbish the ambulance and return it to service. Jesus, $1 million is 3 vehicles. I mean, an ambulance, I mean, especially if it's not in service. Well, no, just because it's reserved doesn't mean that it's like not in service. Like, if you need it, you can use it. Golly, a rehab unit? What am I thinking when I think rehab unit? I'm thinking about like a big, like kind of like a big, one of those big rescue trucks with like the door on the back. You can go inside or whatever. Um, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. I just $1 million worth of damage is crazy. I'm trying to find something else to talk about. Hmm. Really can't see anything. Hold on. That's a different idea. Let's try that. See how well that works. Um. So I'm gonna look it on my. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't even see that. My phone. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I'm recording right now. But we got a call for a motor vehicle accident. Um. The cell phone automatically called 911. No, nothing further. Tried to call back and no answer. Um, hmm, okay. Uh, well, like I'm gonna look at my call logs here on my phone and like I don't know, talk about the calls, I guess. This one I was actually at. This was the other day. I think what day was this? August the 28th. Was that a third? No, that was Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, right? The 28th? Yeah, that was Wednesday. Um, we got a call for a structure fire. Um, and so I went. And the short report said that there was smoke visible from the attic and that everybody was out. So smoke's visible from the attic. So I kind of I pick up my pace a little bit and I try to get there a little bit quicker. Um, we got there. There was no smoke. And the fire alarm and the smoke detectors were just going off. It was a faulty activation of it, so that wasn't really anything. I'm sure it got some guys' hopes up for it, but in the end, there was no fire at all. Um, let's see. I was school. I think yeah, I was in class for that. Um, I went on that one. This one was a motor vehicle accident. Um, I remember going on this one, and this kind of goes to show that even with good short reports, doesn't always mean that that's exactly what is happening on scene. So for this motor vehicle accident, the short report says rear-ended a white sedan um, with one patient complaining of a headache and blocking the entire driveway. Now, I've been in this establishment or around this establishment before. In this driveway, it's pretty large because you got big semi trucks going in and out of it, so you need a big area to for those things to get through easily. Um, we got there. I kid you not. All it was there was no cracked plastic on these bumpers. Nothing was broken. Not a window, not a crack in anything, no bending. It looked almost like you're wearing white leather shoes and somebody with freshly polished black loafers like bumped into your shoe and left like a little bit of a smudge mark from the polish. That's what it looked like. And granted, I'm not I'm not trying to say that this lady didn't have a headache, but because like you could have, even though there was no like damage to the vehicles, you're still getting hit um a little bit, so your head's gonna jolt back probably. Um, but yeah, it sounded like it would have been something of a short report, but we got there and it was not. Um, I think that was the only call we went on. Yeah, I think that was the only one. What was this one? It was all the way out in the city. Um, let's see. Uh, let's go. Let's go back in the summertime. Crawford Road. Sound smell electric. I went to that one. It wasn't anything. Whoops. Mm, let's see. Let's see. Oh, that might have been something. I don't think I went on that. Oh, I remember seeing that though. 3:30. So we're back in summertime because most of these I think I went to because I wasn't busy with other things. Not going that. Okay, I'm kind of giving up. There's nothing really that interesting in there that I could really speak about. Hmm. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to speak about at some point in in this whole thing. Um, it was around April, late April, early May, or mid to late April. Um, me and my dad, we went somewhere to take like a little flashover class. And I'm sure there's videos on YouTube and stuff showing it and all that, but ours was it was kind of just like, the metal containers, like the metal shipping containers that are on semi trucks and on the cargo ships and all that. And there was one full one of those, and then it looked like they cut one in half and raised it up a little bit. So the part that you're sitting on or sitting in it's pretty much like the theoretical floor of it. Um, yeah, it's like you're sitting underneath where the floor would be. Um, like there's a little bit like it's hard to explain without being able to show like something like to like in person explain it. Um, but like the container that was raised up a little bit, the bottom of that is where the floor would be if it extended out, and we were sitting underneath that. And they closed all the doors and they lit this fire and they let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. until the smoke filled up the entire room and was like at where the floor would be. Um, Pretty much just like showing us what it's like to be underneath the floor, seeing what we would be crawling in. Pitch black darkness. I mean, hell, we were sitting underneath the floor, and it no lights, nothing. It was pitch black. Couldn't even see the spot of the fire through all the smoke. Mostly because it had suffocated itself. But they cracked one. There were two doors. They cracked one of the doors, like maybe halfway for 15-20 seconds, and then you could start to see the fire grow back up. So they closed the door, um, and it was almost like they were. It was almost like they controlled it to make it move slower. Like whenever you think flashover, you're thinking of something that happens quick, and that's true. It does happen very quick. But the way that they did it, they made it and they timed it just so like in the right way that whenever it did flash, it didn't move fast. It moved real slow, and since you're sitting under this theoretical floor, you're sitting right underneath, almost like it looks like a block of smoke just sitting there, and you can see the fire, um, like travel through the smoke, catching all those gases in the smoke on fire, and it looked almost it no, not almost. It looked exactly like the Northern Lights if they were orange and red instead of like blue and green. It was the most amazing experience ever. We also had a tick in there, thermal imaging camera. And then you could point it. I think the room on average was about about 600 degrees, like sitting underneath the floor where we were. But if you put it up towards where the fire was as it flashed, the the tick it said, I think because everybody got a turn using it. Hello, hi. I'm recording an episode for the podcast. Would you like to say hello? Hi, that's Dad. No, you're good. Um, I was the man that took me to that flashover class. But everybody got a turn with the thermal imaging camera. And you could see like the temperature changes and the fluctuations between it, with the color, and it showed like a number value of the temperature. And whenever it was my turn to hold the camera, the temperature it reached an error. The colors in the camera itself didn't even know what to identify the heat as. So like red is obviously going to be your hottest. Inside the red there were little pixels of white because it didn't know what to classify that heat as. It set the number value for the heat whenever it flashed on the thermal imaging camera. It said it showed the little greater than symbol, 1202. So it was greater than 1200 degrees up in that fire, which it's crazy. And just being able to be there and experience that was amazing. And I'd love to take another class like that and do it again. Um, uh, yeah, it was just a really cool thing to experience. Hold on, I'm trying to find something. Pardon me, sorry. Um, um, I'm trying to find something else to like talk about. Hmm. Hmm. Really can't think of anything. We'll go back to daily dispatch. Let's see. Let's go with, yeah. Clicked on a random state. Alright, we got New Mexico. There's only 2 stories for New Mexico. Wow. Calls for water rescues from Albuquerque have nearly doubled from last year. Yeah, so I personally have not done any water rescues at all. I can't wait for the day that I can get certified for Swiftwater Rescue and can be a part of that stuff. To be honest, I've never done it. Um, but I feel like it's something that I would like. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna find that out whenever I take the class. Um, but yeah, I really don't have any experience in Swiftwater rescues at all. All I know is that they're pretty rare. Um, Unless you live like on a beach, then I feel like they're more common. Um, Alright, the next randomly picked state is Hawaii. Um, Small airplane makes an emergency landing in Hawaii. Officers responded to a small airplane that made an emergency hard landing south of an airport on Wednesday. The officers responded to the Big Island Gravity skydiving plane at 11 a.m. The pilot landed in a pasture south of the airport in wherever. The hard landing was caused by an engine failure, which happened around 300 feet in the air. There were no passengers on board. The Hawaii Fire Department treated the pilot for a minor injury, who was released after. Wow. Well, that's kind of crazy. Um, Alright, well, we're coming up on 30 minutes on this episode, so I think I'm going to end it here today. I'm trying to cut these videos down a little bit, because I feel like another reason that the views aren't as high is because the videos are longer, and nobody really wants to sit for 40 minutes listening to an audio only. So I'm going to end it here today. You guys can follow us on Facebook at the Firehouse Podcast and subscribe to our YouTube also at the Firehouse Podcast. Again, on our Facebook, there's a link for a GoFundMe. Donating to the GoFundMe will help pay for firefighters' medical bills, which includes like surgeries, cancer treatments, rehabilitation, therapy, and all that. You can also personal message the Facebook page with a Discord username and be added to a Discord server, which is an online chat room where firefighters can communicate to one another about things that they've come into, like experiences or mental blockages caused by experiences in the fire department. You can talk to somebody who's experienced it before, and maybe that can help you with it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. And I'll be back next week. Bye bye.